You're watching a recap from Investor XP, the show that covers investing for gamers. Check out the video description for details. It is Thursday, May the 4th, and we've got a great show coming up today. If you're watching live, here's the stories that we're going to be going over in just a minute. We're talking about Hulu and cable companies. Apple's earnings reports are out. WWE's earnings reports are out, and Collectors Universe earnings reports are out. It's been a long morning of sitting on the phone listening to these conference calls, so we're going to report on all of that. Stick with us for those if you're live. If you're watching the recap, that's all the videos that we're going to be uploading today about, so check those out if you're interested in any of those individual stories. The companies that we own have been doing earnings all day today, so we've been listening to a lot of them, and then yesterday Apple was at the end of the day, so we've really been catching up on these earnings. So we're going to look at Apple's latest earnings, their second quarter earnings. They are down after these earnings because of soft iPhone sales. So I found this a little strange, and I welcome the news actually, because any opportunity to buy into Apple is great, and they had a fantastic quarter, but they said they had some soft iPhone sales because people were waiting for the upgrade cycle. So there's a bit of a pullback, a couple of percentage points, and I just find that absolutely bizarre. But good news, it gives me an opportunity to buy. So again, we're going to go over to Mac Rumors. We like that as a good Apple site. Couple of things that were in the announcement. We'll just go through this article real quick. You guys can check it out. The article will be in the description over at Mac Rumors. They had growth in their Mac sales, which continues to blow my mind because their Macs are just so old, and they're not good computers. When you can see the latest and greatest processors in other machines. So I think when they start getting those out, that's going to be a catalyst for growth. They're still growing on old hardware. And it's a tiny segment compared to the iPhone, but it's still, their segments are as large as Fortune 100 companies. Their subscriber business is still growing. So let's go through the Q&A at the bottom of it, if I can find it real quick in this article. It's basically a whole transcript of the call that's on there. The interesting point to me was in the Q&A session, they asked him about Qualcomm. Here it is. They are not taking gains from Qualcomm by not paying them the royalties. They're accruing that, so they're not getting any benefit in the June quarter. So ultimately, they will pay Qualcomm, but they're saying we're going to leave it up to the courts to decide how much that's going to be. So they're accruing for hopefully the full payment, and they're going to let the courts straighten it out of what they're going to pay. So that is good news to me for two stocks here today. One, Apple being down is, again, they're down 0.5% today. You can see it going across the ticker. They were down 2% after the call. Good opportunity to get back in on Apple. Other thing is with Qualcomm, Qualcomm's going to see some money for this, and they took a big hit because Apple was taking back royalties. So possibly a good opportunity to buy more Qualcomm. Other than that, it's the typical Apple story where it's just never quite good enough for investors. But the upside, one of the interesting things that Tim Cook said was he plans for Apple to be fairly valued in the future, which you see some of these stocks that are trading at such high multiples of earnings, and people are calling that fair value. And Apple is just so cheap on what they're valued at. I cannot imagine them, the stock price at what people would consider fair value, especially if they repatriate the cash and everything like that. So Apple we're really bullish on. Some of the news out of the conference call, very happy to see for Qualcomm. Let me know what your thoughts are on Apple stock, Qualcomm stock, in the discussion for this video. really interested to hear what you have to say. Are you trading Apple? Are you getting out of Apple? Or are you buying more Apple? We're going to be buying more Apple. That is for sure. That's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Post some comments on what you think of any of the investments we talked about today. Subscribe if you haven't already so that you're the latest to get investing news for gamers. Really appreciate the comments that everyone's been putting in there. I'd like, if you are a gamer that's come across the channel or entertainment fan, we primarily cover gaming, entertainment, and technology stocks. If you are new to this and you're curious about investing, start thumbing through the comments. We're starting to get a lot more people putting in the comments some viewpoints on their stocks. See what they're saying and start digesting it and learning some of the viewpoints that people have on investing. As the channel grows and the community grows, we'll start putting more videos kind of on some of my investing styles that I've done, and we'll do more videos about getting into investing. But for now, kind of start digesting, if you're interested, people's viewpoints of what they've got, so you can kind of get a flavor for the different types of investing. And for those of you who are investors who've been posting comments, keep it up. I love reading them. I'll reply to them, as many as I can when I get the chance. Very interesting takes. The more opinions, the better. So thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.